Hello, and welcome to As the CMMC Churns. Today, we're going to read the story, The Little CMMC Engine That Could, retold by me, Matt Titcomb, the CEO of Peak InfoSec, an authorized C3PIO and CMMC provisional assessor. One day, just over 5 years ago, the chief of the contractors got all of the OSCs together and said to them, "We all have to work together to protect ourselves from the thieves. To protect ourselves, we need to get over Conformity Hill. When we do, we will be in the land of CMMC and we will be safe and secure." The OSCs didn't believe the chief of the contractors. They grumbled, complained, and delayed. One day, just 2 years ago, the chief of the contractors got all of the OSCs together again and told the OSCs, "We will start going over Conformity Hill soon. If you don't come, we will have to leave you behind." The OSCs continue to grumble, complain, and delay, even though many of them were being robbed by the thieves every day. The loudest of the OSCs cried out to the chief of the contractors, "We can't make it up Conformity Hill. It's too steep, too hard, and too expensive. You need to make the hill lower." The chief of the contractors was dumbfounded at what the OSCs cried out. "I can make it," a little OSC said. "I know I can." The chief of the contractors smiled at the little OSC and gave him a thumbs up. The little OSC collected all of his CUI assets, security protection assets, and yes, even his contractor risk managed assets and specialized assets. He gathered all his assets, whether he provided them or if they came from an external service provider. He got all of his assets in just the right order and started up to the top of Conformity Hill. Chug, chug he went, without nary a lost asset along Remediation Pass. Along the way, he picked up a couple assets he accidentally left behind after they scrambled to catch up. Chug, chug. "I can make it. I know I can," the little CMMC engine kept saying to himself. Sometime later, with lots of sweat on his brow, he made it to the top of Conformity Hill and down he went, pulling his conformant components behind him. He passed through Certification Pass and settled into the bountiful valley of contracts in the land of CMMC. Yay! Okay, so what is the little CMMC engine? Well, it's the domain that everybody hates, configuration management. It really is. The actual engine is your configuration management plan. That is what will drive you up and over Conformity Hill and through Remediation Pass and get you certified. Your configuration management plan is your little engine that can. And sitting on top of that engine is your engineer. Your engineer is your governance body. You need somebody to stoke that engine and keep it primed and ready at the right pressure as you're going up that hill. Not too hot, not too cold. Just enough to get you up and over that hill in the timeline that you want. That is the little CMMC engine. Problem is, all those big engines back there that couldn't, they're still sitting at that train yard. Or their engineer is doing something more important. This is what we typically find with all the companies we've worked with, where they're not getting something done. Something's more important, or if they're sitting back and waiting for the easy button to one day appear that will help them to get over Conformity Hill. Or they're going to try and get the chief of the contractors to miraculously lower Conformity Hill. That's not going to happen. So guess what? That easy button? It doesn't exist. You need to use your Little CMMC engine. Now, this Little CMMC engine is so important, we at Peak InfoSec will not support clients when we enter that remediation phase if you're not using your CMMC engine. Let me say that again. We will not support you. We have other clients that are more than willing to do this work, and if you're not willing to, we're willing to move on. Yep, that's kind of shocking coming from a business owner. But other people need our help. And if you're not willing to help yourself, I can't solve that for you. On that note, why is this so important? Well, fundamentally, implementing CMMC is implementing a culture change. The technical parts are easy. Getting people and processes and the culture to implement CUI, protecting it, marking, handling it, and everything else is culture change. Changing business processes is culture change. That is not done by the IT. IT is not responsible for your business's culture. You, the executives and CEOs, are. And if you're trying to dump this onto IT because you think this is an IT problem, you're wrong. You will continue to fail to do so. Your CMMC engine is not being fed the right fuel by an engineer that's capable of actually making that engine go. It has to be done at the executive level. If you want to be successful, CMMC compliance is at an executive level. So let's sum up. The Little CMMC engine, it's your configuration management plan, and your engineer is your governance body. If you don't have those two, you're not getting out of that train yard, and nobody's going to lower that hill for you. If you don't have that Little CMMC engine going, you are going to fail. Unequivocally, and in every instance, we've seen organizations start to dawdle, start to avoid, start to not do this. They fail. Nothing moves forward, nothing happens, and then they tend to go, well, why, Matt? Why aren't we getting anything done? And I have to put that little mirror up in front of them saying, you keep canceling your IT steering group meetings. You keep finding something more important. When you decide to change, you'll be more successful. Until then, oh wait, bye-bye, we're not going to support you. We stop remediation activities with that client when they stop anything else. It's up to them. And if you're not going to engage as a business in getting yourself up and over Conformity Hill, we can't help you either. And bottom line, IT is not responsible for this. If you walk away with anything else, walk away with this. This is not an IT problem. If you're the executives in charge of the business and for some reason somebody got you to watch this video, first, they deserve a pay raise. You should give them one for getting you to watch this video. And two, walk away. It's your responsibility. You're responsible for that culture change. You're responsible for making this happen, not IT. So again, I'm Matt Titcomb with Peak InfoSec. Thank you for joining us for another As the CMMC Churns, and we'll see you next time.